The massive chamber floated in deep space where no natural light could reach. Inside the Galactic Council headquarters, 12 different alien species gathered around a table made from pure crystal that glowed with inner fire. Today brought news that would shake the foundations of their 300-year rule over the galaxy. Captain Jiwoo stood before the assembled council members. His blue skin showed patterns of fear that his species could not hide. The slim alien held a datapad in his 6-fingered hands as he prepared to deliver information that would change everything. Behind him, holographic displays showed images that should not exist anywhere in the known galaxy. Admiral Minho of the Reptilian Empire sat in his massive chair made from the bones of conquered enemies. His yellow eyes fixed on the trembling captain as sharp teeth showed in what might have been a smile or a threat. The scaled admiral had destroyed 20 worlds in his career and feared nothing that lived among the stars. The projection activated and filled the chamber with impossible sights. Construction yards larger than moons floated in the darkness behind Earth. Ships that stretched for dozens of kilometers took shape in the void. Weapons that glowed with contained starfire waited for completion. The scale of construction defied everything the Council knew about human capabilities. Commander Sura from the Crystal World spoke with a voice like singing glass. Her transparent body pulsed with confused light patterns as she studied the images. The crystal being had lived for 800 years and commanded fleets that could crack planets like eggs. She had never seen technology that advanced anywhere in the galaxy. General Hyon watched the debate with calculating compound eyes. His insect features remained perfectly still, as his mind processed tactical implications. The general commanded the most advanced computer networks in Council space. His battle predictions had never failed in 2 centuries of warfare. Now his systems showed error messages when analyzing human construction. Admiral Minho laughed with a sound like breaking stone. The massive reptilian being stood 3 meters tall and could crush steel with his bare claws. He had conquered primitive worlds across the galaxy and saw humans as another weak species ready for domination. The images meant nothing to his warrior mind focused only on easy victory. Captain Jiwoo activated another section of the holographic display. Energy readings appeared that broke every known law of physics. Power signatures that rivaled small stars pulsed through the human constructions. Weapon systems that could delete matter from existence charged with forces beyond understanding. The data made no sense according to established galactic science. Commander Sura spoke again with growing concern in her crystalline voice. 5 years earlier, humans had defeated her invasion fleet using weapons that seemed to bend reality itself. Her ships had melted like ice under summer sun when human forces engaged them. The memory still brought pain to her ancient consciousness. General Hyon finally shared his analysis with the assembled council. His computer networks had spent months studying human battle tactics from previous engagements. Humans fought with creativity that no machine could predict or counter. They sacrificed themselves for others in ways that violated every principle of logical warfare, yet somehow they always found paths to victory that escaped understanding. The debate continued for hours as species after species demanded action against the human threat. The Galactic Council had maintained order through superior technology and overwhelming force. No single world had ever challenged their authority and survived. Earth represented the first real threat to their power in 3 centuries of rule. Supreme Chancellor Minjae called for a vote using his forearms to gesture for silence. The insectoid leader had guided council policy since before humans discovered fire. His compound eyes could see across multiple spectrums of light as he evaluated the political implications. War with Earth risked everything they had built, but doing nothing might be worse. The vote was unanimous except for Commander Sura, who abstained. 100 ships would travel to Earth and demonstrate council power. The battle group included vessels from every major species in the Alliance. Weapons that could sterilize continents would show humans their proper place in the galactic hierarchy. On Earth, Admiral Daeho Kim stood in the command center of humanity's greatest achievement. The ship stretched 50 kilometers in every direction around him. Its hull contained metals that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Weapons that tapped directly into stellar cores waited for their first combat test. 20,000 humans prepared for the most important battle in species history. The construction had taken 5 years of absolute secrecy. Human scientists had pushed beyond every limit that Council science claimed was possible. They studied forces that existed between dimensions where normal physics held no power. The results challenged everything the galaxy thought it knew about technology and warfare. President Una Park received hourly updates from intelligence networks spread across Council space. Human agents embedded in alien governments reported massive fleet movements toward Earth. The enemy would arrive within days, bringing enough firepower to crack planets. Humanity's children would face their ultimate test very soon. Admiral Daiho reviewed crew assignments for the final time. Each department head represented the best Earth could offer. Commander Hagen controlled navigation systems that could fold space like paper. Chief Engineer Sumin managed power cores that contained the energy of captured stars. Weapons Officer Jiho commanded arrays that could rewrite the fundamental forces of reality. The ship existed in multiple dimensions at once, which allowed it to be much larger inside than outside measurements suggested. Corridors stretched for kilometers through spaces that should not fit within the hull. Manufacturing bays produced materials that had never existed in normal space. The vessel represented humanity's first step beyond the limits that confined other species. Deep in the ship's core, the main computer processed battle scenarios at speeds that approached thought itself. Human programmers had built artificial intelligence that could think in ways no alien mind could follow. The machine consciousness understood creativity and sacrifice in addition to pure logic. It was ready to fight for Earth's freedom using principles the Council had forgotten. Admiral Daiho walked to the observation deck where stars shone through transparent metal stronger than diamond. Soon those stars would witness the collision between old order and new possibilities. The Galactic Council brought 3 centuries of experience in dominating weaker species. Humanity brought something the galaxy had never seen before. The hidden threat was about to become visible. Earth's children had grown strong in the shadows cast by alien oppression. Time for hiding ended as forces gathered that would reshape the galaxy forever. The Council ships approached carrying certain victory. They would discover that certainty meant nothing when facing the impossible made real. The Council battle group dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system, like a cloud of metal death. 100 ships arranged themselves in perfect attack formation, as they had done countless times before. Each vessel carried enough firepower to level continents. Together they represented 3 centuries of galactic military superiority. Admiral Kiwan commanded the fleet from his flagship that had conquered 20 worlds without ever suffering serious damage. The massive vessel stretched 2 kilometers from bow to stern with armor that could withstand direct hits from stellar plasma. His crew had never known defeat in 50 years of warfare across the galaxy. The alien admiral studied tactical displays showing Earth's pathetic defenses. A few orbital stations that looked like toys. Some cargo ships fleeing toward the outer planets. No military vessels rose to challenge his overwhelming force. The humans appeared to have learned nothing from previous encounters with Council power. Commander Gina operated the navigation systems with her tentacled hands dancing across control surfaces. Her species could sense danger through quantum fluctuations in space itself. Something felt wrong about this easy approach to Earth, but she could not identify the specific threat that made her nervous. Admiral Kiwan opened communication channels to the human homeworld. His message carried the authority of 300 years of galactic dominance. Surrender immediately or face complete destruction. Submit to Council rule or watch every city on Earth burn under alien weapons. The choice was simple, and the deadline was 1 hour. On Earth, President Una Park received the ultimatum in her underground command bunker buried beneath the Korean mountains. Her military advisors argued for immediate negotiation to save human lives. Some suggested accepting alien rule to prevent the slaughter of billions. The president listened to every option before making her decision. General Do-won showed satellite images of the alien fleet approaching from the outer system. The enemy ships moved in formations that had destroyed dozens of worlds. Their weapons could crack continents and boil oceans. By every measure of military science, Earth faced certain defeat within hours. President Una remembered intelligence reports from worlds under Council occupation. Entire species reduced to slavery, genetic experiments that turned children into weapons, cultural destruction that erased civilizations from history. Death might be preferable to the future the aliens offered. The president's response traveled back to Admiral Kiwan's flagship within minutes. Only 2 words appeared on his communication screen in simple galactic standard language. Come try. The message carried no fear or pleading, just a challenge that no species had ever dared make to Council authority. Admiral Kiwan's anger burned hot enough to melt steel. His scaled fists crushed the armrests of his command chair as rage consumed his tactical thinking. No primitive world had ever shown such disrespect to galactic power. The humans would learn the price of defying their betters. The alien fleet accelerated toward Earth at maximum speed. Weapon systems charged to full power as targeting computers locked onto population centers. The plan was simple and had worked on dozens of worlds. Destroy the major cities first, then negotiate with the survivors from a position of absolute strength. Commander Gina's unease grew stronger as they passed the orbit of Mars. Space around Earth remained empty of military vessels. No defense platforms fired desperate shots at their approach. The humans acted like they did not even realize death approached their world. It made no tactical sense at all. Chief Weapons Officer Gunho checked his targeting systems for the third time. His forearms moved across control panels with mechanical precision as he prepared to demonstrate Council firepower. The first salvo would target 10 major population centers simultaneously. 20 million humans would die in the opening seconds of battle. Admiral Kiwan dismissed Commander Gina's concerns about the strangely quiet approach to Earth. Fear made beings see threats that did not exist. Humans were primitive creatures who had barely learned space travel. They probably could not even detect the approaching fleet until it was too late to respond. The alien ships crossed the orbit of Mars without encountering any resistance. Earth grew larger in their view screen, showing blue oceans and white clouds. The planet looked beautiful and peaceful and completely defenseless. Victory seemed as certain as sunrise. Then space itself tore open directly behind the Council fleet. Reality ripped like fabric as something impossible emerged from between dimensions. The human ship that appeared dwarfed every vessel in Admiral Kiwan's battle group combined. It stretched 50 kilometers in every direction with a hull that bent light around its edges. Energy readings from the human vessel broke every scale on Council sensors. Power signatures that rivaled small stars pulsed through its massive frame. Weapon ports along its hull began to glow with contained forces that could rewrite physics. The alien fleet suddenly found itself surrounded by a single ship that should not exist. Admiral Daeho Kim's face appeared on every screen in the Council fleet. The human admiral looked calm and sad as if he regretted what must happen next. His voice carried across space with quiet authority that made veteran warriors feel like children caught breaking rules. "Welcome to our solar system," Admiral Daeho said without any trace of anger or hatred. "You made a terrible mistake coming here." The words carried weight that pressed against alien minds like physical force. This was not the voice of primitive beings begging for mercy. Admiral Kiwan tried to project strength he no longer felt as he stared at readings that made no sense. The human ship generated more power than his entire fleet combined. Its shields showed energy signatures that Council computers could not analyze. Everything about the vessel violated known laws of physics. Commander Gina's tentacles quivered with fear as she realized the true scope of their error. The quantum fluctuations she had sensed were not random space distortions. They were the signature of technology so advanced it existed partially outside normal reality. Humanity had transcended every limit that confined other species. The massive human vessel began to move with impossible grace for something so large. Space seemed to bend around its hull as it positioned itself for whatever came next. The Council fleet hung frozen in shock as their prey became their hunter in the span of seconds. Earth's most powerful ship had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Council fleet floated helplessly in space as Admiral Kiwan stared at sensor readings that challenged everything he knew about warfare. The human ship surrounding his battle group generated more energy than entire star systems. Its hull materials showed quantum signatures that should not exist in normal space. Every measurement defied 3 centuries of galactic scientific understanding. Chief Science Officer Yunji worked frantically at her station, trying to analyze the impossible vessel. Her crystalline form pulsed with confused light patterns as computers failed to process the data. The alien scientist had studied physics for 200 years across dozens of worlds. Nothing in her experience prepared her for technology this advanced. The massive human ship moved with fluid grace that mocked its incredible size. Weapon ports along its hull began to glow with barely contained starfire. Each gun could level continents with a single discharge. The firepower concentrated in one vessel exceeded the total military capacity of most galactic civilizations. Admiral Daeho Kim appeared on the main view screen of every ship in the Council fleet. The human commander looked tired rather than triumphant as he studied the aliens who had come to destroy his people. His calm expression showed no anger or hatred, despite facing an invasion force sent to commit genocide. "You came here to destroy my world," Admiral Deho said in a voice that carried across space like distant thunder. "To force my people into slavery like you did to so many others. But you do not understand what humans become when we are pushed too far." The words held weight that pressed against alien minds. Admiral Kaiwan tried to salvage some authority from the hopeless situation. His reptilian features showed strain as he broadcast on all frequencies. "Surrender now, human. The Galactic Council commands 12 species and 1,000 worlds. You are only one planet. We will bring fleets beyond counting to crush your defiance." Admiral Deho's expression did not change as he listened to the alien threats. "You are welcome to try," he replied with the same calm tone. "But first let me show you why that would be a mistake." He gestured to someone beyond the viewscreen range. "Fire a warning shot. Something they will remember." A single beam of coherent energy lanced out from the human vessel toward a target in the outer system. The weapon moved faster than light itself as it struck an asteroid floating near Jupiter's orbit. The rocky mass measured larger than most moons and had existed since the solar system formed billions of years earlier. The asteroid simply ceased to exist, not destroyed or shattered into fragments but completely converted to pure energy that dissipated harmlessly into space. The process took less than 1 second and left no debris behind. Where solid matter had floated moments before, now only empty vacuum remained. Every crew member in the Council fleet watched in stunned silence. Their most powerful weapons could crack that asteroid into pieces over several hours of bombardment. The humans had deleted it from reality as easily as erasing words from a datapad. The demonstration revealed technology beyond current galactic understanding. Commander Sura's voice cracked like breaking crystal as she broadcast from her ship. "What kind of science is this? Our researchers say such power levels are impossible to achieve. The mathematics do not work according to any known physical laws. How did humans develop weapons that rewrite reality itself?" Admiral Deho's response carried gentle patience as if he were teaching children about basic science. "Your research is limited by what the Council allows you to discover," he explained. "Humans have no such restrictions on our curiosity. We learned to think for ourselves long ago. While you followed rules, we asked dangerous questions." The alien fleet crews began to understand the terrible scope of their error. Humanity had not just matched Council technology but transcended it completely. The primitive species they came to conquer had become something beyond their capacity to comprehend. Every assumption about human capabilities proved catastrophically wrong. Chief Weapons Officer Gunho studied his targeting computers with growing despair. His forearms trembled as he realized his most advanced weapons could not even scratch the human vessel's shields. The energy barriers protecting the massive ship operated on principles that violated known physics. Fighting such technology would be suicide. On his flagship, Admiral Kiwan felt 3 centuries of Council superiority crumble around him. The reptilian commander had built his career on overwhelming technological advantage. Every world they conquered fell because Council science dominated primitive local knowledge. Humans had reversed that equation in ways that should be impossible. Navigator Gina's tentacles writhed with quantum sensitivity as she detected energy patterns that hurt her consciousness. The human ship existed partially outside normal space where different physical laws applied. Its weapons drew power from sources that transcended conventional understanding of matter and energy. Admiral Deho continued his patient explanation of human advancement. "We sought answers in places you feared to explore," he said, while gesture encompassed the massive vessel around him. "Between dimensions where physics works differently. In quantum spaces where thought becomes reality. Your Council science cannot follow where human curiosity leads." The demonstration had achieved its purpose without spilling a single drop of blood. Every alien crew member now understood that attacking Earth meant facing forces beyond their comprehension. The humans possessed weapons that could unmake matter itself, while shields that existed partially outside reality protected them from any retaliation. "You can still leave," Admiral Deho offered with genuine compassion in his voice. "Return to your Council. Tell them that Earth is not theirs to take. Tell them humans prefer peace, but we have become very good at war. The choice is yours to make freely." But Admiral Kiwan could not accept such complete humiliation. His pride demanded action even against impossible odds. To retreat without firing a shot would destroy his reputation and possibly his life when he faced council judgment. Death in battle seemed preferable to disgrace in defeat. The alien admiral opened fleet communication channels to address his demoralized crews. All ships prepare for attack, he ordered, despite knowing the futility. If we must die today, we die fighting as warriors. Perhaps our sacrifice will warn the council about the true extent of human power. Admiral Deho shook his head sadly as he watched the alien fleet prepare for suicide. The humans had offered mercy and received defiance in return. Now they would demonstrate why threatening Earth's children was the galaxy's greatest mistake. The lesson would be written in metal and fire across the void. Admiral Kiwan gave the order that would define his species' relationship with humanity for generations to come. Attack with everything you have, he commanded his fleet. Show these humans what council power means. 100 alien ships unleashed their combined fury against the single massive human vessel that surrounded them in space. Energy beams that could melt continents struck the human ship's hull from every angle. Missiles armed with antimatter warheads detonated against shields that barely registered the impacts. Plasma cannons that had cracked moons fired continuously for 30 full seconds. The firepower of an entire galactic battle group focused on one impossible target. When the weapons fire finally stopped and the explosion clouds cleared, the human ship remained completely undamaged. Its shields had absorbed forces that could sterilize planets without even flickering. The aliens realized they faced technology that existed centuries beyond their understanding of warfare and physics. Tactical Officer Do-Hyun stared at his sensor readings with scaled hands that trembled in disbelief. His instruments showed the human vessel had not even noticed their attack. The energy levels required to shrug off such massive firepower should have been impossible to generate or contain within any known hull design. Admiral Daiho, Kim's voice carried across space with the same calm patience he had shown throughout the encounter. You had your chance for peaceful resolution, he said without anger or reproach. Now you will learn why humans have survived every threat our galaxy has presented to us over the millennia. What happened next shattered every assumption the alien crews held about space combat. The massive human ship did not respond with weapons fire or missile launches. Instead, it simply moved closer to the nearest council vessel with deliberate purpose. Energy fields extended from its hull like gentle hands reaching out to embrace the smaller ship. Inside the alien vessel, gravity systems failed without warning. Life support computers shut down despite showing no damage to their circuits. Weapon arrays refused to charge no matter how frantically the crew worked to restore power. The ship had become a floating tomb with its occupants trapped helplessly inside their own vessel, but the aliens were not harmed in any way. The humans could have killed every crew member instantly, with technology that transcended physical limitations. Instead, they chose mercy over massacre even when facing enemies who came to destroy their world. The demonstration revealed moral superiority that matched their technological advancement. We do not enjoy killing Admiral Deho, explained as his ship repeated the process with vessel after vessel throughout the council fleet. But we will protect our people by any means necessary. Your choice is simple. Withdraw from our solar system or spend the rest of your lives as our prisoners. Admiral Kiwan watched in growing horror as his mighty battle group became a collection of helpless metal coffins floating in space. Every ship under his command fell victim to technology that turned their own vessels against them. His crews remained alive but completely powerless to fight or flee. The human capture system worked on principles that violated everything the Council knew about physics and engineering. Some kind of quantum field that could selectively shut down specific systems while leaving life support minimally functional. The precision required suggested computer intelligence that operated faster than biological thought. Chief Engineer Su-Young worked desperately to restore power to her ship's engines. Her 6 arms moved frantically across control panels that had become decorative displays. Every system showed green status lights but refused to actually function when commanded. The vessel had become an elaborate prison with invisible bars. This is Admiral Kaiwan of the Galactic Council Fleet, the reptilian commander broadcast on emergency frequencies. We are under attack by human forces possessing technology beyond our understanding. Send reinforcements immediately. Bring every available ship in Council space. The response came not from Council headquarters, but from Admiral Deho himself. Your message has been intercepted and blocked, he informed the aliens. No one else will know what happened here until you choose to tell them. The question you must answer is what story you will tell your masters. On Earth, far below the space battle, President Una Park watched events unfold from her underground command center. Her military advisors celebrated the easy victory over forces that had seemed impossible to defeat. But the president understood this was only the beginning of a larger conflict that would reshape the galaxy. Admiral Kim, she communicated with the flagship through quantum channels that operated faster than light. Can we hold against a full council armada? What happens if they bring 1,000 ships instead of 100? Are we truly ready for total war against 12 alien species? Admiral Deho's response carried quiet confidence that had been earned through years of preparation. Madam President, they could bring 10,000 ships and the result would be the same. Humanity has moved beyond the Council's understanding of warfare. We fight with principles they abandoned long ago. The human commander gestured toward his bridge crew who worked with calm efficiency, despite facing the galaxy's most advanced military force. We do not seek to conquer or dominate, he continued. We offer advancement to species ready to abandon the old ways. Some will accept and others will not. In space around Earth, the last Council vessels fell under human control. Admiral Kiwan faced a choice that would determine his people's future relationship with humanity. Accept defeat gracefully and perhaps find mercy, or maintain pride and watch his crews suffocate in disabled ships while floating. Forever in the void. The alien admiral studied Admiral Deho's face on his view screen, searching for any sign of deception or hidden cruelty. The human commander looked genuinely sad about the necessity of using force. His offer of mercy seemed sincere rather than another tactical manipulation designed to extract information. Navigation Officer Gina whispered from her station with tentacles pressed against quantum sensors. Admiral, the humans are not lying about their capabilities. I can detect at least 50 more ships like this one hidden throughout the solar system. They have been preparing for this war much longer than we realized. The revelation struck the alien crews like a physical blow. If humanity possessed an entire fleet of impossible vessels, they could destroy the Galactic Council without breaking stride. Every world under alien rule would fall within months. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted permanently in favor of Earth. Admiral Kiwan made his decision with the weight of species survival pressing down on his scaled shoulders. Admiral Kim, he said formally, I request safe passage for my surviving crews back to Council space. We will carry your message of human strength to those who sent us here. Admiral Deho nodded with genuine respect for his defeated opponent. Your ships will be repaired and resupplied before departure, he promised. Tell your council that Earth seeks peaceful coexistence with all species, but also tell them what happens to those who threaten our children. The first battle between humanity and the Galactic Council ended without a single death on either side. But the war for the galaxy's future had only just begun. Word would spread of Earth's impossible victory, and every species would be forced to choose their path forward, in a universe where humans had transcended the limitations that bound all others. News of the fleet's total defeat spread through the galaxy faster than ships could travel. Admiral Kiwan returned to Council space with only half his original vessels. The other 50 ships remained in human custody with their crews treated well but held as living proof of Earth's new power in the galaxy. Council chamber erupted in chaos as representatives from 12 species shouted accusations and demands for immediate action. Supreme Chancellor Minjay pounded his ceremonial gavel with 4 arms, trying to restore order. His compound eyes showed the strain of leadership during the greatest crisis in 300 years of galactic rule. Explain this disaster, Chancellor Minjay demanded as Admiral Kiwan stood before the assembled representatives. How did primitive humans defeat our finest battle group with a single ship? What kind of weapons could disable 100 vessels without destroying them completely? Admiral Kiwan's report sounded like science fiction, even to his own ears. A vessel 50 kilometers long that existed partially outside normal space. Weapons that could erase matter from reality with single shots. Technology that turned enemy ships against themselves without firing a single hostile round. Most disturbing of all, humans who chose mercy when they could have chosen genocide. You speak impossible nonsense, General Taehyung roared from the reptilian delegation. His massive claws scraped against the metal table as rage consumed his tactical thinking. No single ship can defeat 100 regardless of size. These humans must have used deception or hidden allies. But intelligence reports flowing in from across the galaxy painted a picture more terrifying than any military defeat. Human colonies that had barely survived 5 years earlier now showed energy signatures that rivaled major industrial worlds. Their merchant vessels carried cargo containers that sensor scans revealed as empty space. Ambassador Xiao Jin from the trading worlds presented evidence that chilled every council member. Our commercial networks report humans offering to purchase strategic materials at prices 10 times current market value, she explained. Rare metals, exotic crystals, antimatter fuel cells, they are building something much larger than one ship. The realization hit the assembled aliens like a physical force. If humans could construct one impossible vessel, they could build entire fleets. Perhaps they already had dozens of such ships hidden throughout their solar system. Earth might possess military power that could destroy the entire Galactic Council structure. We must negotiate, Counselor Nari suggested from her position with the peaceful crystal worlds. Her translucent form glowed with worried light patterns. If humans have developed such advanced technology, we cannot defeat them through conventional warfare. Perhaps we can find diplomatic solutions. Never General Taehyung slammed his armored fist against the conference table. The Council has ruled this galaxy for 3 centuries without compromise. We will not bow before upstart humans who learned space travel only yesterday. Gather every ship, every weapon, every soldier from across our territory. Chancellor Minji considered both options while studying reports from intelligence networks throughout Council space. Negotiation with humans meant admitting that galactic authority had limits for the first time in 300 years. War meant risking complete destruction if Earth's technology proved as advanced as evidence suggested. Chief Intelligence Officer Min Seo presented her analysis to the troubled council members. Her cybernetic implants processed data faster than biological brains could follow. Human agents embedded in our governments have been gathering information for decades, she reported. They knew this confrontation was inevitable. The intelligence briefing revealed the scope of human preparation for galactic conflict, sleeper agents in every major government, trade networks that mapped resource flows across dozens of worlds, cultural exchanges that studied alien psychology and weaknesses. Earth had been planning for war while pretending to seek peaceful coexistence. Send a diplomatic mission. Chancellor Min-jae finally decided after hours of heated debate. But simultaneously prepare our combined fleets for total warfare. If humans prove reasonable, we will negotiate peace. If they refuse, we will discover whether one ship can stand against everything we possess. Admiral Bogum received orders to assemble the largest military force in galactic history. Ships from every council world would converge at predetermined coordinates. The armada would include 5,000 vessels carrying enough firepower to sterilize entire star systems. Surely no single species could withstand such overwhelming force. On Earth, Admiral Dae-ho Kim studied intelligence reports from human agents throughout alien space. The Council was preparing for total war despite suffering complete defeat in their first encounter. Earth had perhaps 6 months before facing an invasion force of unprecedented scale and desperation. But in the hidden construction yards behind Luna's shadow, humanity's greatest secret neared completion. The ship that had defeated Admiral Kiwan was merely a prototype for testing new technologies. The real Earth Defense Fleet contained vessels that would make the Galactic Council question their understanding of physics itself. President Unipark reviewed the latest production figures from manufacturing facilities that existed partially outside normal space. 100 ships identical to the prototype were nearing completion. Each vessel could single-handedly defeat the force that Admiral Kiwan had commanded. Together they represented power that could reshape the galaxy. The construction process used techniques that human scientists had developed through studying forces between dimensions. Matter and energy could be manipulated in ways that seemed like magic to species bound by conventional physics. The ships existed simultaneously in multiple realities, which gave them capabilities that appeared impossible. Admiral Dae-ho walked through corridors of the prototype vessel reviewing crew, assignments, and tactical preparations. His 20,000 crew members represented the best humanity could offer. They had trained for years using simulation systems that could recreate any possible combat scenario with perfect accuracy. The ship's artificial intelligence processed strategic data at speeds that approached pure thought. Human programmers had created machine consciousness that understood creativity, sacrifice, and moral principles, in addition to pure logical analysis. The AI was ready to defend Earth using concepts that alien computers could not comprehend. Deep in the vessel's core, quantum computers modeled every possible Council response to humanity's demonstration of power. The analysis showed 60% probability of total war within 6 months. Enemy forces would arrive desperate and willing to use any weapon available, including those banned by Galactic Treaty. But the mathematical models also revealed something more hopeful. Many species within the Council structure were growing tired of authoritarian rule. If humans could demonstrate superiority without resorting to genocide, they might inspire rebellion across the galaxy. Victory might come through liberation rather than conquest. The galaxy stood balanced on the edge of transformation. The old order faced technology and principles that challenged every assumption about power and authority. Humanity held the key to either peaceful evolution or total warfare. The Council's response would determine which path the future would follow. Admiral Deho returned to his command station, knowing that the next few months would define civilization for generations to come. Earth's children had grown strong enough to protect themselves. Now they would discover whether the galaxy was ready to grow beyond the limitations that had confined it for centuries. The ultimate armada of the Galactic Council assembled at the edge of known space, like a cloud of metal death stretching across light years. 5,000 ships from 12 different species converged for the largest military operation in galactic history. Every weapon, every soldier, every resource the Council could gather, focused on one target: the complete destruction of Earth. Supreme. Chancellor Minjay addressed the fleet. Commanders from his massive flagship that had served as the seat of galactic power for 3 centuries. Today we preserve the order that has brought peace to our galaxy, he declared to the assembled alien leaders. Humans threaten everything we have built with their dangerous ideas about freedom and equality. The Chancellor's speech carried across space to crews who had never known defeat in their long careers of conquest. They commanded vessels that could crack planets and weapons that could boil entire oceans. The mathematics of warfare suggested certain victory against one world no matter how advanced their single prototype ship had proven to be. But in the deep space between the approaching armada and Earth, something impossible waited in the darkness. Admiral Deho Kim stood on the bridge of humanity's true flagship, watching as 99 identical vessels took perfect formation around his command ship. Each vessel stretched 50 kilometers from bow to stern, with hulls that bent starlight around their edges. All vessels report ready for combat operations, Commander Hagen announced from her station. Her calm voice carried no trace of fear, despite facing odds that should guarantee annihilation. 100 human ships preparing to engage 5,000 alien vessels in a battle that would determine the galaxy's future. Admiral Deho understood something the approaching aliens did not. Human technology had transcended mere engineering to become something approaching art. Their ships could slip between dimensions where different physical laws applied. They harnessed forces that existed beyond normal space and time itself. The Council Armada entered Earth's solar system expecting to find a frightened world begging for mercy. Instead, they discovered empty space and a single message waiting for them on every communication frequency. President Una Park's image appeared on 5,000 view screens simultaneously. Citizens of the galaxy, she began with the authority of Earth's elected leader. Your government sent you here to destroy my people because